evening and welcome to APW News. I'm Madison Brown. Our first story of the night comes from the recent anti-vaccination movement that has caused a spike in the number of measles outbreaks. In 2014, there were 667 reported cases of measles in the United States, as compared to the 55 cases in 2012. We sat down with a professor of epidemiology at Barron's College and a prominent proponent for the anti-vaccination movement to get you the top story.
Hello, I'm Professor Willenstein and I'm the professor of epidemiology at Barron's College. In 2015, an outbreak of measles was linked to the amusement park Disneyland. A patron was infected with the morbillivirus, otherwise known as measles. It is highly contagious and spreads through coughing and sneezing. The virus spread to multiple states. This likely could have been prevented had the patron received a measles vaccination. The vaccination became prevalent in the 1960s, and as expected, the amount of measles cases in the United States dropped by more than 95%. The outbreak at Disneyland caused an uproar in communities around the United States as the public saw anti-vaxxers as a threat to public safety and health. Many asked why someone would allow themselves or their child to be infected with a virus that is easily preventable with a vaccine.
Now over to the investigative
Hello.
report.
My name is Sally Jones. I'm a columnist for the New York Current as well as an investigative reporter for APW News. I have written several articles regarding the choice of vaccination. I'm here with an anti-vaxxer so that she can share her views regarding vaccination.
Hello, my name is Debbie Peterson and I have a lifestyle blog. My blog includes recipes, craft ideas, and of course a section on how I choose not to vaccinate my darling daughter Rose. I'm actually editing my post about it as we speak.
So Debbie, why did you decide against vaccination?
Well, I didn't want my child to have any vaccination because the measles vaccination and the preservative thimerosal in vaccinations causes autism. So I personally think that natural immunity and a healthy lifestyle is all you need, and that alone will protect my precious daughter.
Debbie, according to the majority of research, most of your claims are actually false. Vaccines do not cause autism, and neither does the preservative thimerosal. Natural immunity is not all that you need because measles affects 90% of all people exposed to it unless they are vaccinated. And, in addition, no matter how healthy you are, a healthy lifestyle will not protect you from measles.
I don't need you telling me what to do. I can make my own personal decisions for what's best for my family. And personally, I don't think anyone should be vaccinating their children.
Debbie, I understand that what you want is best for your child and that your choices are your own, but not vaccinating your child not only puts your child at risk, but everyone she comes into contact with due to how highly contagious the measles are. At this point in time, many people don't actually realize how bad the measles actually are. Due to the creation of the measles vaccine, the disease has decreased so much in prevalence. Many people began to think that they were immune and that there was no way they could ever contract the disease. As we have seen through the recent outbreaks, sadly, this is not the case.
The most recent outbreaks were not my fault. Most people won't even come in contact with the measles virus, so why would I put my child at risk for autism? Just because something is available doesn't mean it has to be utilized.
Although measles has gotten a lot of media attention lately, it dates back to the 9th century in Persia. One of the most notable examples was in Fiji in 1875, when exposure to measles decimated 1/3 of the island's population. We filmed
The great sickness sits at the masthead. We have fallen upon a new age. Infectious disease is spreading among us. This is an English translation of a Fijian chant. In the 1870s, Fiji came under Great Britain's control by their own will. This was supposed to be a good thing for Fiji, but following a common trend, disease soon spread throughout the archipelago. Measles came to Fiji by way of a quarantined ship from Australia carrying the former royal family. In the hullabaloo surrounding their arrival home, the ship was not kept properly quarantined. As the disease ran rampant throughout the island, Fijians went into a panic to stop the spread. Some lay in the ocean or wrapped their children in grass to reduce fevers, but this did not slow the spread of the illness. Others burned the contaminated dwellings, killing everyone inside. Corpses were left to rot in place. In extreme cases, natives killed and sometimes ate the British subjects. The measles epidemic was one of the most devastating disasters to ever hit Southeast Asia. To quote from Fijian spoken poetry, "The spirits flow away like running water. Ananuma. The sickness is terrible. Ananuma."
As you can see, the measles have always been and continue to be a deadly virus responded to with public outcries. Over time, however, people responded differently by applying science to the issues in place of trusting in traditional customs, resulting in a sharp decline of reported cases. Most recently, the anti-vaccination movement grew out of a false belief that vaccinations would cause autism, which was supported by many high-profile figures. Despite their claims, science continues to favor the idea that the benefits of vaccinations outweigh any possible negatives. This has been Madison Brown.